So today,
On a serious note.
So today, it came up on our timeline about the Eva, what's her last name? I don't know how to pronounce it. Marcel situation about, situation she's got herself in with her new husband. Now they're getting a divorce. And, the child that she had from a previous relationship, she brought into her new marriage. And the husband in this situation, he adopted the child and took on the child as his own. And, I applaud him from that. That's a good thing. And so I think it's interesting that this came up on the news feed today because you and I were already about to have a conversation about, we're thinking about having a conversation about the role. What's the role of a bonus parent, a step parent, or things of that nature. So that's what we are today, man. We talking about this, man. And first, I want to start off by saying this is my personal. I'm gonna look right in the camera when I say this. This, as a parent, as somebody who's a parent, this is my personal philosophy on the role of a step parent. For me, you have, in my book, you have to put a step parent in a position to where if they want to leave, they can leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it's okay to put baggage that you're bringing from a previous relationship and put it on your new relationship in such a way that the person can't leave if they want to leave. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think it's fair to do that. Now, if you're dating somebody and they choose to do it, that's fine, but there shouldn't be like a legal child support obligation for somebody to take care of a child that they didn't create. It's okay if they want to, but you should not hold them on that particular situation. So that's how I feel about it. I just want to go ahead and get that out the way. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about what do you feel?
I have two different ways I feel about this. Number one, when you marry, you become one flesh. Right. And so that doesn't mean I marry you, but I don't marry your child. Mm-hmm. And so when you decide to marry somebody and you guys become one flesh, that means that ultimately that child is now mine as well. And I'm supposed to do my due diligence to make sure they're safe, they're protected, provided for, all those things. What I don't agree with when it comes to that situation is that child still has another parent, unless the child is pronounced dead, deceased, or
the child's parent
disabled or something of that nature. The other parent is obligated to take care of their child. Right. So that at that point, it's time to unpack. Where is this other parent?
Where's the other
parent at? And what is it that these two people are doing to not have the other parent included? Right. Because I can't just simply say, okay, well, Eva's not messing with the other father. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't her husband be able to check that, in a sense, not reprimand her, but why would you marry somebody who does not want anything to do with the other parent, or not even have their child have to do anything with the other parent? So we don't know what that situation is about.
And so in backstory, what we do know, we know two facts. We know two things. Number one, he signed the birth certificate. And I'm speaking about Eva's first child's father. Mm-hmm. He was there. He signed the birth certificate, and the child had his last name. So in order for those two things to happen, that means he was there and present when the child was born. And so according to Eva, she said something about they became estranged
after 2 months.
They only dated for 2 months, and they became estranged. But the facts of the matter, no matter how raggedy people say Kevin McCall was, allegedly, he was there at the child's birth, signed the birth certificate, and was willing to take on responsibility for his child. Now, a lot of people don't understand this. I'm looking at the camera again. A lot of people don't understand this. Just because when you're a man and you're there at the birth, just because you signed the birth certificate does not mean you have rights to your child. You have zero rights to your child if you have a baby in an unmarried situation, and you have no rights to your child until you file for legitimation. Mm-hmm. As an unmarried father, you have zero rights. It don't matter if you've been giving her money every month. It don't matter if you was there and signed the birth certificate. If you're unmarried and you don't go through the legitimation process, you don't have no rights to your child. And so effectively the child's mother can do anything that she wants. And so what happens in these situations is people have babies through all kind of, situations that's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? People have babies with people who they don't all the way know yet. You know what I'm saying? People have children, through all kind of situations. And so what usually happens is a lot of women, because men don't have this power to do this. So a lot of women, what they do is they have a baby. They just want a baby for whatever reason. They have a baby through any kind of little messed up situation, little quick situation, and they just run off with the child. You know what I'm saying? That's a typical thing that a lot of women are doing right now. That's a play that a lot of women are doing. And so in this situation with Eva, it appears that could have been the scenario. Like, I think people are so quick to believe if any bad news come out about a black man, people are quick to believe.
It's true.
People are quick to believe whatever is said instead of really unpacking the full situation and seeing what's going on. The two facts we know, the man was there and signed the birth certificate and the child had his last name. She decided to change that to this new man. I don't think that's fair.
What I think is the issue here is we don't know any facts. Mm-hmm. We don't know how Eva's mentality is, and we don't know how Kevin's mentality is.
She's had children from 2 failed relationships.
No.
I'm being real.
We can't use that because there's people every day that's having children by people that are not a good fit
for me,
to be in a relationship.
For me, I'll give you one oops. Okay. I'll give you, for me, you get one oops. Everybody's entitled to that one oops.
That's not true.
You know what I'm saying? But if you run here if you've gone through a situation where you've had a child with somebody who you're not in a relationship with, and it's not the best situation, just going through that one time should be enough to make you like, fuck, oh, hell no.
It should be, but I know somebody right now who literally, I know somebody like literally right now who knows that the person that they had their first child with, they went and had another child by this person. Know good and damn well that it is not a good match.
Right.
And it's not healthy for the children. Right. And then after the second one, then they finally went on, was like, hey, I got to get up out of here.
Right.
So sometimes people do believe, and unfortunately as human beings, a lot of people do believe maybe this person will change, or they're showing you a little bit slight change where you can possibly do something with them. But then they go back to their old ways just because they want more of something. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not just a one oops situation. Some people have 2-3 oops.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. For me, and that I ain't trying to be hard on Eva. That go for dudes too. Absolutely. Like, I don't see how dudes be around here with like 3, 4, 5 baby mamas. Like, I don't really see why you would put yourself in a situation to be fucked up like that. Like, that's too much going on. That's way too much going on for me. You know what I'm saying? So this just goes back to the situation. What do we believe the role of a step parent is? I just want to go back and talk about, you and Divine's relationship and what I've witnessed from y'all over the past almost 2 years. I guess it's coming up on 2 years. Coming up on 2 years now, and I've been able to witness y'all relationship and you build with her. And you be, then my child is a very strong, tough-minded child. And so she don't fuck with it. Excuse my words, but she don't fuck with everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when she do fuck with you, because you don't put some work in and she trusts you. It's kind of like, she kind of get that from my dad a little bit. That's kind of how I am. Like, I'm real guarded with people. But once I trust you, I'm the most goofiest dude you ever know. And that's kind of like how Divine is. And so for 9 months, when Divine first met you, she was side-eyeing you. You know what I'm saying?
But Divine, first of all, we have to talk. Divine is a pandemic baby. And so the only thing she saw was daycare workers and kids and mommy and daddy. So, anybody extra was a bonus for her to say, okay, can I get a little candy, a fruit snack from him, whatever. But when you and I started dating, I did not force myself upon Divine. And that actually came up in a conversation with you and I one time, and you was a little concerned, like, why you ain't playing with my baby enough, and I had to let you know that being around kids myself, it's never okay to just enforce your own agenda on a very pure soul. That's how I saw her. And I also wanted to be able to gain her trust, knowing that, okay, first she needs to see, are you going to be around, number one. And I had to see if I was going to be around.
That's right. One. And I had to see did I want to keep you around.
And you was going to keep me.
Okay.
I mean, you.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Who are you talking to?
That's fine.
I was going to be around.
Okay.
Like I said, I needed to see if I wanted to be around.
That's fine.
Because number one, I've never had a long-term relationship with anybody with a child. That's number one. So I had to realize that you are a package deal, and your relationship with Divine, I wanted to see what that was as well, because I wasn't going to be with any man that did not take care of his children.
Right.
And so that was important. So when I saw that relationship and that bond, she always wanted daddy. And that was another thing, too. I'm not about to force myself upon you when I know your only safety is your father. And so I wanted Divine to be able to see that this is a safe space for you to feel that you can be a part of. And I felt like I did that well. It literally took 9 months to build that bond.
Right.
And it was like at the 9th month, it was like, I want Neil, I want Neil. Daddy saying, I want Neil. Divine, I want Neil. And it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. But Divine is the smartest, sweetest little girl that I just kind of hit the jackpot with dating you.
Yeah. Oh, boy, you got a mouthpiece, boy.
With Divine.
Yeah. But,
because these kids are bad out here. These kids. Divine doesn't scream. She don't cry all kind of crazy. The only time I see Divine get angry is when she's hangry. And when she's hangry, she cries and lets you know I'm ready to eat and I'm ready to take a nap. And I respect that, because when I get hungry, we're the same. So when me and Divine together hungry, you be like, both of y'all need to eat. Something need to happen. But I think she is the sweetest, direct child. She doesn't waver. If she wants something, we can try to convince her. We've done that plenty of times. Like, you sure you don't want this toy? I said I want this toy. She's very direct. And just to see the matriculation with Divine's personality in almost 2 years, she's a whole different kid. And she's vocalizing what she wants to do and what she wants to see for her own happiness. And I think that's the most fun thing to see and do with her at this point. And I love the fact that she knows that she feels safe.
Right.
That's important to me, especially when you're hopping from home to be with different parents. And that's stressful for a child already. And so to know that you can go to any home and feel safe and provided for and wanted and needed and respected as a child. We don't just tell Divine, you better do this. Right. She doesn't get that from neither one of us, really. It's really gentle parenting where we say, what do you want to do? And when she doesn't want to communicate, I'm really big on teaching her how to properly communicate. That shutting down stuff, I don't think that's healthy.
But back to the point. The point is...
my point is that Divine has found a safe space to hear me, and I hear her. And that's important for our relationship to continue.
And just seeing like how you allowed her to come to you on her time, and once Divine said the light bulb came on, and said boom.
Literally.
She here. She's been consistent. She ain't been no here today, gone tomorrow person. She's been nice to me. She when I wanted a little toy, she got me a little toy. She get me cute. Do my hair, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so she saw you be consistent. Children respond to consistency.
They do.
It don't matter if you're the mother, father, baby daddy, baby mama. Children respond to pattern and consistency. And you showed her a certain pattern over a certain amount of time, and she just took to you like, boom, now y'all locked in and ain't no switching up.
She also had to figure out who I was. Who is this woman? Right. I know she's not my mommy. She's not daddy. She's not grandma. She's not auntie. Who is this role? So the name Nell is a role for her. It's not my name. Right. Which is weird to say. But if people understand it, they'll be like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's another role for her to say, that's an extension of daddy. And I know that extension of daddy keeps me safe, makes me feel happy. You know, the sweetest thing I heard Divine say one time we was in the car, she said, Nell never makes me cry. Right. And for me,
she was manipulating you when she said
no, it wasn't manipulating.
I know my child.
A whole other conversation.
I know my child.
It wasn't.
Okay.
And you know that.
Okay.
So that's something you don't need to say because that's a lie.
Okay.
But she was expressing her day-to-day activities, and she was very vocal about what was going on with her day-to-day activities. So for her to make sure that she let me know that Nell doesn't make me cry. Nell protects me. Nell makes me feel good and things of that nature. That spoke volumes for me in my relationship with her because it's not in vain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's amazing how Divine at 3 years old, she already understands what her village is.
She does.
She already understands that she's a part of a village. She knows she got mommy, grandmommy, she got daddy, and she got Nell. She knows those are her people. And it's amazing to see how she's protective
She is.
over all her people.
She is.
And it's a beautiful thing to see that because it reminds you that children are really up under the guidance of God. And it's us humans that put shit on children that alter them and out of their natural nature. But Divine is very vocal about who her village is. It's not what I'm trying to it's not what I'm trying to build for her. Is she will tell me, mommy, grandmommy, daddy, and Nell.
And even the period of time that we didn't get to spend with Divine, it was like the intensity was even more.
Right. Like
I yearn to be with Daddy, Nell, and see my village. You know what I mean? And I thought that was important to see because sometimes children, when they're uncomfortable or they're being guided a certain way or they're not comfortable with certain situations anymore, they'll tell you. Like, I haven't really seen her in a long time, so I kind of feel a certain way. But I think that period of time where we didn't see her, it was a situation where when a child is loved on properly, you yearn for it more. That's like human beings. Like, it's like if you go out of town tomorrow and you say, hey, babe, I got a job doing this for 6 months with so-and-so, and I don't get to see you but one time a month. I'm yearning to see my man on the 7th month, and I don't want to let it go. Like, I missed all this time to spend with you.
I think that 6 months, I think what that 6 month proved to me, for me, what she kind of like told me, and not what she told me, but what I witnessed from her, and the lesson that I learned from it was that, love on your child. Like, no matter, they love on your child. Like, if they're looking at you, they might not be able to vocalize how they feel about it at a certain point, but at a point, but as they grow and learn and develop skills, language skills and experiences, they don't forget that you showed them love. You know what I'm saying? And so, the 6 months ago, she didn't have some of the language skills and things to express herself. But it's like after the 6 months, she came back with full. She telling about stuff from a year ago. She talking about stuff from a year ago. And like, Daddy, remember we went to seen the lion? You know what I mean? It's like, dang, okay, I see. Now you wasn't really able to communicate with me. That's how you felt then, but now you have the language skills. So I've always thought one thing that came on my mind too about the greatest things you can give your child is language skills. Like, I think that will get you farther in life than anything, just being able to have language skills. And I think about how a lot of kids that grow up in situations around, different hood stuff and situations, how much negative language skills they're acquiring, or just no language skills at all. And that, being able to express yourself in things is very, very, very important. So give your child language skills. So that's why I always use big words with her and teach her concepts and things like that. So that's very important.
Yeah. I think the quality time spent with Divine, for 17 months, 18 months with her, I know for sure that made a huge impact on her. Even from the time I knew that me and Divine's bond kind of got a little bit deeper was when your mother passed.
Right.
And she saw Daddy was occupied emotionally. And she wanted to be able to be there for Daddy. But it was just so many people, and, she was like, oh, I know these people are family, but I need to, let me slow down. So where's Nell? And it created just created safety for Divine. And the part that I love the most is that she always feels safe. It doesn't matter who's talking to her, who's around her. She always know when Daddy and Neil there, it's safety.
Right.
You know what I mean? She doesn't ever feel uncomfortable, and she's actually voices it now when she's uncomfortable, or she'll say, "I just don't know them." Like, she's speaking so eloquently, where it's like, okay, I can respect that. She's basically saying, she didn't even tell you, can you please move out my space? You know?
Now, I ain't gonna lie, she's starting to get a little rude now. And so the thing about it is,
we're gonna not say rude, we're gonna say she's just saucy.
Divine is mean. And so she say things, she can be very mean sometimes. And I think sometimes as a parent, our knee-jerk reaction is to say, you don't say that, don't do that, don't do that. But, you know, with little girls, if like this past weekend, I was hugging her and kissing her and all that stuff, and she was like, "Daddy, get out of my face." And so initially, I'm like, "Little girl, who you talking to?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who you talking to? Like, you don't tell me to get out your face. That's your knee-jerk reaction to say that. But, you know, I do want to teach her that, you know, if somebody's in your boundaries, it's okay for you to say, ask for space. And so, but you don't say, "Get out my face." You say, "Can I have some space? Can you give me some space, Daddy?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're always gonna have to.
She got to be. Yeah. So I think if you automatically punish your child for saying certain things, then you also eliminating them being able to vocalize when they want somebody out their boundaries. They're gonna think they're gonna think if somebody in their boundaries, they got to just shut up and let it go. No, you need to be able to vocalize. Hey, give me some space now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But she's in a very sponge state too. She's not learning from me and you every day. She has another village, and she goes to school, and she's around kids and teachers.
She's around school more than anybody.
But when she's vocalizing things, we have to remember that these kids are the other families saying certain things too. Right. Where we have to teach her that's not appropriate to say. This is how you should say.
That's why when you have a child, it's not. Some people ought to just think that their family is just what's in their house. Right. Or whatever.
Much more.
It's really you really got to be involved in every aspect of your child's life, the school they're at, the environment they're in, because that environment, like her school, like that, you made a good point. When you go to a certain school in a certain environment, your child is around kids who got parents whose value system might not be the same as yours. You know what I'm saying?
These kids probably getting yelled at all day.
And all type of stuff, you know what I mean? You don't tell them what's going on. And so once you send your child out into the world and environment, you sending your child out into, you know, God knows what, and you have to be involved in all of that. So,
and I do love the fact that, you know, we're very mindful of what we say and do in front of Divine. She can't say anything negative because we've made a vow to each other to table adult conversations between you and I. Right. When she go to bed, then we can talk about it on that couch. But I feel like Divine is in such a healthy space, and she's happy, she's healthy, and I feel like when a child has that type of love surrounded by them, it should not be tampered with. Don't tamper with a child being loved on if you're not receiving that yourself. Just show that child love and let that child know that it's okay to be loved on. Don't seclude them from the love. Don't